Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Literary Lord. For today's video, I've chosen a poetry, the very first poetry of class 9th syllabus, named The Herd of the Tree. Well, talking about this poetry, the introduction, The Herd of the Tree, written by Henry Quiller Bunner, is a poetry which not just shows us the importance of a tree, or the greenery of this world, of the nature, but also it shows us the importance of the greatness of all of those people who have got love, care, and affection for the nature, for the greenery, for the trees. Because that love is not just confined to the nature, the greenery of this world. Love for the nature is actually love for your family, love for your society, love for your nation and your whole generation, and not just your generation, but even the upcoming generations as well. Now, talking about the poetry, the poet, apart from very many good things about the trees, has also stated planting trees as something heavenly. He has said that this is a heavenly activity. So now you can understand how great it is to plant trees, it is to care the nature, and how great are all those people who do that, who have got that something inside their heart for that. Now, the rhyming scheme of the poetry is A B A B B C C A A for each stanza, which only makes this poetry more interesting and musical. So now moving on towards the stanzas of the poetry. Hi everyone, good morning. Alright, so talking about the stanza 1, what does he plant who plants a tree? He plants a friend of sun and sky, he plants the flag of breezes free, the shaft of beauty towering high, he plants a home to heaven and I, for song and mother croon of bird, in hushed and happy twilight heard, the treble of heaven's harmony, these things he plants who plants a tree. Now, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, if you read this stanza and the whole poetry, you'll get to know the poetry is divided into question and answers. The very basic question, the very common question of the whole poetry, what does he plant who plants a tree? I mean, it's such a great way the poet is trying to convey and try to deliver and show us his message through a question answer, sort of a dialogue. He's asking questions, and what does he plant who plants a tree? And then he's giving answers, and he plants these good things when he's planting a tree. He does these good things when he's planting a tree. So now, moving on towards the stanza 1, what does he plant who plants a tree? Asking the question. He plants a friend of sun and sky. He plants the flag of breezes free, the shaft of beauty towering high. Now, how can it be a friend of sun and sky? I mean, like a tree, something which is on earth, how can it be a friend of something which is in space? Let me tell you, a tree, when you look at it, it seems it's facing towards the sky. Obviously, it's facing towards the sky. It seems it's trying to reach the sky, but that's not the only thing the poet is comparing on which that it is a friend of sun and sky. But you see, the presence of tree makes the sun rays more pleasant. You don't feel that sort of hotness of these sun rays. Giving you as an example, you go to a place where there are no trees and sun is high, you will feel the hotness, the high temperature, alright? But when you go to the forest or a place where there are a lot of trees and the sun is high, you will not feel that same hotness. You will feel that pleasantness. Oh my God, sun's looking so beautiful, because the sun becomes beautiful. The sun rays, they become pleasant in the presence of the trees. So, is it not right to call a tree a friend of sun and sky? He plants the flag of breezes free, the shaft of beauty towering high. Now, what's this? A flag. What you feel when you see your country's flag? You feel the freedom. You feel the energy, you feel the confidence. Oh yeah, that's my country. That's my country's flag, towering high, dancing with the rhythm of the air. My God, that's so good. It's giving me positive vibes, and that's That's a tree poet is trying to tell us. Our tree has got some quality of flags, our country flags, you know. When you just go and admire a tree and look at it, it gives you a feeling of freedom. Freedom for what? To have fresh air, to breathe, freedom of breathe, freedom of positive vibes. Having a positive vibe, that's your right. And the tree, it gives you that feeling. Yes, you have got a right for freshness. And it gives you energy. It gives you positive vibes. So is this not right to compare a tree with a flag? He plants the flag of breezes free. The shaft of beauty towering high. It's towering high like a flag. And giving us positive vibes. Giving us confidence to live. And to live with happiness, prosperity. That's all the thing. Now moving on. He plants a home to heaven and I. He plants a home to heaven and I. For song and mother croon of bird, in hush and happy twilight heard, the treble of heaven's harmony. These things he plants who plants a tree. Now, he plants a home to heaven and I. Something near to the heaven. He plants a home near to the heaven. In fact, he gives us, when he's planting a tree, it means the presence of these trees. And when he is planting a tree, it means he's making a home in heaven. In fact, he's making this place like heaven. In fact, he's making this place heaven. For song and mother croon of bird. For song and mother croon of bird. What's happening in the tree? Birds, they make the nest and started singing in the twilight night. It seems, oh my God, so soothing, so beautiful. If you listen to it, it's something, it is as if a princess, as if an angel is singing song right from the sky. This voice is coming down from the sky. So is this not something heavenly? Yeah, obviously. So it gives us the feeling it's something heavenly, you know. It plants a home to heaven and I. For song and mother croon of bird. These birds, you know, they're singing song in hushed and happy twilight heard. In those twilight nights, they're singing song as if something heavenly. You sit down in that night and you feel that goodness of heaven. You will get a trailer of a heaven. The treble of heaven's harmony. That's three times something amazing, something beautiful, something musical you will feel when you will sit under a tree. And the birds singing song. My God, these things he plants a tree. It's not just a tree, but a friend of sun and sky. A flag towering high. Or a home near the heaven. And even these beautiful musics and songs. With this, we've completed the stanza 1. Now let's move on towards the stanza 2. The stanza 2. Same question. What does he plant who plants a tree? He plants cool shade and tender rain, and seed and bud of days to be, and years that fade and flash again. He plants the glory of the plain. He plants the forest's heritage, the harvest of a coming age. The joy the unborn eyes shall see. These things he plants a tree. Let's see it in a bit detailed perspective. What does he plant who plants a tree? He plants cool shade and tender rain, just like I said in the very first stanza. The very first line, a friend of sun and sky, the presence of the tree makes these sun rays pleasant. The presence of the tree makes the atmosphere pleasant. Deserts are hot, but forests are cool, because these trees are the bringers of the cool shades of winds. You know, and not just the wind, but even the tender rain. Obviously, these trees are the reason for the rainfall. Desert zones have the rainfall. The forests do have, because they have the trees. They attract the rain, as we all know, we all have studied. So obviously the one who's planting a tree is not just planting a tree, but he's planting those cool shades of wind and that beautiful, sparkling, tinkling, twinkling, tender rains and seed and bud of days to be. And not just a tree, but then that tree produces seeds and buds, and then more trees and more trees. You see, the tree, it is always in existence until and unless we do something unnatural. We do create something havoc for them. In fact, we don't create havoc for them, but we are creating a havoc for us by killing trees, by cutting trees, by polluting the area, the nature, and making it so much suffocative for the trees, So, and years that fade and flash again, the years that fade, they flash, they just go away, but these trees, they remain. They witness every single thing, the good days and the bad days, they are always there. They've got a very long life, until and unless we do not cut them. And seed and bud of days to be, and years that fade and flash again, he plants the glory of the plain. This is the glory, the honor, a great achievement. I believe these trees, and I hope the poet also believes the same. The glory of the plain. It's something, a great achievement for the land. It's like an ornament, just like our dear ladies. They have jewelries and all of these stuff. What are they? They are the boost to the beauties. They're already beautiful, and these jewelries, they give a boost to the beauty. Just like these trees, they give boost to the beauty of the land. This beautiful green grasses, flowing river, high mountains covered with ice. All this is the beauty, and these trees are just enhancing that beauty, boosting the beauty of the land. He plants the glory of the plain. He plants the forest's heritage. Heritage is a special portion or an allotted when something, it identifies a forest. You see a tree, oh my God, yeah, forest has got a lot of trees. You get that thing. So it's not just a tree, but something important for a forest. It represents the forest. Obviously, whenever you just imagine about the forest, the very first thing comes in your mind is trees. A lot of trees, then lines and all of these things. But first of all, trees, a lot of trees. So obviously, an importance to the forest as well. When you're planting a tree, it's a great thing. The harvest of a coming age, the joy the unborn eyes shall see. Just like I said earlier, that love for the nature is not just love for the nature, but in fact it's love for your family, for your nation, for your generation, and even for the upcoming generation. Because if you're planting a tree today, it has got a very long life. It becomes bigger one, and it gives fruits to the upcoming generation. Not just a fruit, that physical one, but a lot of good things, just like we just studied, right now. Those positivity and that cool shades of wind, the tender rain, the freshness, good vibes, all of these things. For whom? For the upcoming generation, and vice versa. When you're cutting the trees, when you're creating pollution, when you're making it inhabited for the trees, what are you doing? You're killing the upcoming generation. Instead of giving them a gift of trees, what are we doing? In fact, we're killing our upcoming generation. We are making it a hell-like a situation for them. When they come here, they're going to see our ancestors have just destroyed everything. All of that nature, all of that greenery, all of those trees. Nothing is here to live. They will suffocate and die. So when you plant a tree, it's a harvest for a coming age. It's something good for the future generation. The joy the unborn eyes shall see. All of those good things and the positivity, those unborn eyes are gonna see. Unborn eyes, obviously they're not born yet, they're not here yet. So when they're gonna come here, they're gonna see it. Oh my God, the world's such a beautiful place to live. When you plant a tree, and when everyone does that, and when everyone has having a care for that, these things he plants. Who plants a tree. With this, we have just completed the second stanza, and now moving on What's the another one? The third one and the final one. We're coming on the third and the final stanza. Same question. What does he plant? Who plants a tree? He plants in sap and leaf and wood, and love of home and loyalty, and Farkas thought of civic good, his blessings on the neighborhood, who in the hollow of his hand holds all the growth of all our land, a nation's growth from sea to sea, stirs in his heart, who plants a tree. So this stanza is like half of it I've already explained in the introduction. Let's just again say it. What does he plant? Who plants a tree? He plants in sap and leaf and wood. Not just a tree, but a sap and a leaf and a wood. So he's just telling the parts of the trees. Then moving on to why he's planting a tree. Now up till now, like the first stanza, the second stanza, we just read that he is doing all of these good things behind planting a tree. But why he is doing that? He's doing that in love of home. Obviously, just like I said, love for the nature, care for the nature is not just confined to the nature. If you're loving the nature, it means you love your family. It means you love your society. It means you love your nation. And it means you love your generation and even the upcoming one. It means you love the humanity. If you love a tree, if you love this nature, you love the humanity. So saving a tree, it means saving humanity. So he is planting a tree, the guy in the poetry, he is planting a tree in love of his home. He wants his family, he wants his society to breathe fresh air, have good vibes, and all of that prosperity which comes from the tree. He's planting a tree for that. Alright? So in love of home and loyalty. Now what's that loyalty? We get so many good things from nature. We get food from nature. We get water from nature. In fact, we get life from nature. We get a fresh air to breathe from nature. So we're getting life from nature. And what are we giving it in return? Is destruction. Is pollution to the water. Pollution on the land. Pollution in the air. And in the noise. Is that what we are supposed to do? Is that a written gift what we're going to give to the nature which has given us life? That's not loyalty. So you need to care. If you are having care for the nature, what are you going to do? You're going to plant a tree, and that's loyalty. That's something, that's your duty. Being a human being, you will have to love the nature. Being a human being, you will have to care for the trees. Because you have got so much from them. And now it's your turn. And obviously you are getting it and you will get it. And if you can do something, just please do something. Plant a tree. If you cannot, then at least don't destroy one. And if you're not doing that, have some good feelings for the trees. You know, you get so many good vibes, have some good feelings for them. Spread awareness, don't cut the trees. That's the loyalty, alright? And Farkas thought of civic good. Just like I said, a Farkas thought of civic good, a thought for the civic good, for something good for the society, something good for the town, something good for the city, and finally for the nation, then the neighboring nation, and finally the whole world, and then the humanity. So it's not just something good for your family, it's good for your society as well. Planting a tree, you're doing such a good thing, you know. I call it saving humanity, saving lives. No, it might sound a bit too much, you know, planting trees, saving lives, becoming an avenger. But that's the thing, you know. It might sound a bit funny, but that's the thing. If you get into this, planting a tree, saving the humanity, cutting a tree, destroying the humanity. His blessings on the neighborhood, obviously. Planting a tree, you're giving blessings to the neighborhood, not just the person living beside you, but to the neighboring society. Things increase, all right. You keep on planting trees, and the more trees, and the more trees. It's a blessing to your neighbors, to the neighbor society, and then it moves on and on and on. Who in the hollow of his hand holds all the growth of all our land. Now, when you say in this line, who in the hollow of his hand, the his is written with a capital H. Why? Because the poet is trying to show that man, trying to give respect to that man who is planting a tree, and trying to represent him as a very great personality, a great man who has got love for the nature, who's saving lives. His hands are working for the progress of our land, of the nation. And not just that, his hands are working to save the lives, to make better lives by planting a tree. A nation's growth from sea to sea, we've already read. A nation's, it's a growth for a nation, not just one nation. If the process keeps on moving on, one nation, the other one, and the other one, the whole world, and obviously prosperity for the humanity. Stirs in his heart who plants a tree. Stirs is moved slightly. So this is something good, something, something sort of a love in his heart, which moves. It makes you feel the existence in your heart. Hey, look. Love for the trees, love for the nature, love the greenery. That's gonna give you life. That's gonna make it a more better place for the living, not just for you, but even the upcoming ones. So with this, guys, we just completed the very first poetry of the class 9 syllabus. Hope this is gonna be useful for you. Hope you guys liked it. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy that I just completed this poetry, and for in the upcoming days we're gonna be taking up more poetries for the class 9, and once this is completed we'll be moving on towards the class 10th, and then more on and on and on. So for right now, thank you so much for watching this video and being such a patient listener. Hope this is gonna help you and increase your knowledge and even help you in your examinations as well. So thank you so much once again. Love